So we are going to talk about touch. And one of the big things that we need to talk about with touch is the type of receptors that we see in the skin. In the skin, we have thermoreceptors, and we also have mechanoreceptors, and we also have nociceptors. So we have receptors for temperature, we have like touch or physical change receptors. That's what mechanoreceptors are. And then we also have those pain receptors. So this is a wide variety of receptors that we have here. And we don't really necessarily have a bunch to talk about because we've already identified these structures before when we were talking about the skin. And so this is really more of a refresher and kind of having a conversation around what happens beyond this. So just to refresh your memory, a Krause's end bulb is for cold sensation. A free nerve ending is for heat and pain. A Messner's corpuscle is for delicate, light pressure touch. Then we have the Pacinian, which is the deep pressure touch. Ruffini is for skin stretching. So this is different than like deep pressure. This is for when the skin is being pulled. And then we have Merkel discs, which are sustained pressure. So those are all things we have talked about before. But one of the things we haven't really discussed is like, what happens if you lose your sense of touch or you were born without touch? And generally, this can be quite dangerous because when a person loses their sense of touch, they lose their ability to sense if their body is in danger. And particularly if we lose our sense of pain, like if we lose the ability to have pain sensation, people have been known to who have no sense of pain have been known to walk around on broken legs for weeks because they didn't know they had one, because they have no pain to indicate that something's wrong. So while pain is not necessarily enjoyable, it's incredibly important for us to be able to maintain a healthy body, because without it, we don't know that something's wrong. So same thing with touch is, if you don't realize that you're stretching your skin past its breaking point, you could tear it or, have it get cut or lots of different things. You might not realize that you're putting so much pressure on a given point that you're deadening the tissue, that you're cutting off blood supply. These are all really important aspects of touch. And, touch is really important for maintaining our emotional health. So one of the things that we have learned is that people mimic the expressions they see on other people's faces, just subtly. It's part of how we interpret faces, is the brain will see a face expressing an emotion and then mimic those, momentarily mimic those muscle configurations in order to understand what that expression is. And that requires having, sensors in our skin to monitor what we've done in order to relay that feedback. In fact, it's one of the things we know about Botox is that because it deadens the muscle in this underneath the skin to prevent wrinkles from forming, they actually have found that people who repeatedly use Botox lose the ability to mimic those facial expressions, and then by extension lose some portion of their empathy for other people. So it's just a very interesting like feedback loop between the nerve endings in our skin and our larger personality. But that is all that we need to kind of cover with our touch, our sense of touch. So if you make sure you have everything down in your notes, and we will pick up again with eyes and vision.